Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Oh my gosh, this thing is asking all different kinds of things. I love Facebook. Anyhow, hey, I'm hoping that everybody's had a great, wonderful weekend and a good start to their week. And I started this live schedule or this live broadcast again. It's been a while since I had done them, and I wanted to get back in the habit of doing them again. And for those that are sharing or being on here and listening in, I really appreciate it. It's always nice for us to know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. So please drop a comment in on that. And we're gonna talk about a lot of different things. Of course, my wife and I, we've got a business, and I'm very proud of our business because it's allowed us financial freedom. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that as well throughout these lives. It's going to come out in different ways. But, the other thing is that a lot of these questions that come up from other people that are asking or inquiring about the business, they're really interesting questions. And one of them that I've been thinking about a lot lately is, if I had a crystal ball, there's been times where in the past, I wished that there was an investment made into something. And I can remember back when I was in grade school, maybe you guys can relate to this, maybe you can't, I don't know. But the real first question that I have for everybody, well, there's two of them, as always. I'm always going to be asking you questions as we go through this, and the more interactive it is, the more fun it is as well. So if you would like to share your response to some of these questions I'm throwing out, please drop them in the comments there. But the first one is in the title of this is if you had a crystal ball. In other words, if you could see into the future, then what would you be doing now in order to make that come and make it to your full advantage, right? So then the question that kind of follows along with that, have you ever wished you'd made a move on something but didn't? And then years later go, man, if shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? Man, I wish I would have done that because now I'd be totally financially set. Somebody mentioned an investment opportunity to go, no, I don't think that's the right thing for me. You pass on it. Next thing you know, they're financially free or made a lot of money. I can remember when I was in grade school, I think this was like the 6th or 7th grade, we had a project for learning the stock market in school. I mean, 6th, 7th grade. How old are you then? Pretty young, right? And I picked a stock. I went through kind of a little bit of the analytics and everything that they were teaching us, and I went through the stocks, and I picked Bally, which back then it was, I don't remember the numbers at all, but we watched it, and I was doing this with my dad, and we watched it, and if I had invested in that when I was a kid during the time of the process of this class that we were in, I would have made a lot of money. And that was the first time I understood about basically leveraging your money, right? Investing it in something and allowing your money to grow in that investment. Now, obviously, the stock market is a perfect place to talk about if you had a crystal ball, right? If you knew that penny stock was about to explode, you're paying pennies on the dollar for this stock and it goes up to $5, $10 a stock, you've really, truly just bought yourself financial freedom. The challenge is most of those penny stocks ain't going to go that way. And if you're really going to be investing in the stock market, it's a science and you really need to study it. Well, I'm kind of lazy, and so that's not something I really want to do. But another place is real estate, right? So here I am, now I'm in high school. And at that time, my sister's husband's talking about a new Jack Nicklaus course that's going up outside of Chicago where we grew up. And he's talking about, he thinks that this is going to be the place to invest because it's Jack Nicklaus. It's just going to explode. And the lots were being sold off as a, pre-investment opportunity. And I'm having this discussion with my dad. I said, Dad, I think this is really a good investment based on everything that I'm seeing. Well, my dad decided to pass up on it. And sure enough, he would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars if he had made that initial investment. And then another one that came to mind is when I was at college down in Daytona Beach, there's a flying community there. And a good friend of mine that we were going through F-16 training with, he had 2 lots in this flying community. I mean, this was like high class flying community. And I was like, and he's telling me, Guy, man, if you got the money, let's invest, You need to invest in a lot here because this thing is only going to go up and up and up in value. So again, I approached my dad because I didn't have the money because I didn't know, I'm not really money smart at that time. And I'm like, Dad, Bob's saying this is the place to invest. Remember what happened with that Jack Nicklaus course? And I was trying to encourage you to invest in that. And even my mom was on board with this one in Florida. I mean, it was like, there's no way you could lose by investing into a lot there. And my dad's like, no, I don't know. So my dad was super, super conservative. Well, sure enough, those lots went out of sight. And then John Travolta bought a lot there because they opened up Universal Studios in Orlando. And so the price of those lots skyrocketed. So if you had a crystal ball, and you knew that was going to happen, that John Travolta was even going to invest into this area, wouldn't it have been smart investment to have found a way to get the money to buy that lot? All right. So that's kind of the theme of this live, and I'm going to try. Hopefully, I'll make this one a little bit shorter than I made on the others. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. Danya. I think I figured out how to see people on this. Priest, good to see you. And anybody else that may be joining in on this, I'm really happy to see you all here. Okay, so stock market, mutual funds. Though there was another one, Southwest, more recent Southwest stock. So I get hired on by Southwest. Everybody's telling me I was actually doing stock investment before that. And this gentleman that was being a mentor, he said, you want to stay away from Southwest stock. That is just a disaster, blah, 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 blah. So I never bought Southwest stock. Then I got hired on and I'm like, well, now I'm part of the company. Why not invest? And I bought it when it was really low. And soon after I got hired, we're on a complete economic recovery from the 2008 crash. And the Southwest stock goes through the roof. And I did that with a couple other smart things I just happened to buy, and they turned out to do very, very well. I didn't have the crystal ball. Those were just luck. I didn't really know what I was doing. But then here's the thing. I paid off a car by selling off my Southwest stock because I'm like, there's no way it's going to stay this high. It's going to fall down again. And sure enough, the stock doubled again after I sold it. So I paid off the car. That was great. But now I didn't have any investment in the Southwest stock and it skyrocketed, right? So there again, crystal ball, if I had known what was going to happen in the future, I probably wouldn't have sold that stock when I did. So now think of something. So the first question I have is, if you got a crystal ball, what would you do? And then have you ever wished that you moved on something that you didn't? And then how about something that you did move on and you were successful with? Has there been a time, just like I was sharing with the Southwest stock and a couple others, that you invested in and it actually worked out into your advantage, right? Maybe you bought a house at the right time when the real estate market was low, and you were able to buy a house and you lived in it for a while, and then you were able to sell it and you made a lot of money on it. I mean, a lot of people are doing that as well too, right? Well, all this is kind of leaning towards the fact that there's more wealth in the world today than has ever been. All right. The point is, you want to play where the money's at. All right. So if you had a crystal ball, the goal is to get into something that is about to explode. Not after everybody's getting into it. Last live, I kind of brought up Bitcoin a little bit, right? My wife and I bought when it was $700. Now it's something like $50,000. So if somebody now is getting into Bitcoin, they're literally, it could still skyrocket and go on and on and on and on. But let's say it was to plateau at 50,000. Now everybody's joining in at Bitcoin. The time to get into Bitcoin was when it was $50 or $100. Or, maybe when it was $700, $500 like Elka and I. But now that it's $50,000, most people can't afford to buy a full coin. So you're buying fractions of coins and that, but there's still a lot of money to be made there, right? But if you could have gotten in at the ground floor when Bitcoin was first getting loose, I know people that spent $30 a coin. $30 for a coin that is now worth $50,000. So again, having that crystal ball, I don't know how long Bitcoin's been around, probably about 10 years or so, 8 years. If you had that crystal ball and saying, you know what, I'm going to invest, I'm going to, $30 a coin, I'm going to buy 1,000 coins, so I have $30,000 investment. Holy mackerel, you'd be a multi-millionaire right now, right? If you had that crystal ball. Well, here's what I would like to share with you. We have a crystal ball because of the CBD industry. We know, I can't say with a fact, but all the evidence is pointing towards, all the experts are pointing towards, and I did a lot of looking up online this morning, getting ready for this live. I did a lot of research. I don't have any stats. I don't have any pictures for you, which I normally like to have, but just an overall feeling from all the research that I did. This industry of CBD is really, truly about to kick off. And it hasn't really even happened yet. And there's been some steady growth going on, but man, this thing is really about to take off like a hockey stick. And the reason is because as more doctors and scientists understand the science behind the body and the endocannabinoid system that's already in our bodies, we already produce cannabinoids, right? CB1, CB2, it's, your body's hardwired for CBD. You got 34 CBD receptors on every single one of your cells. And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why this CBD thing is going to be such a big craze, because the science is starting to prove what everybody knows that uses CBD, the positive benefits from it. But it's even greater than we ever realized. We just had a call last night, and I didn't realize this, but Dr. Jeff Young, who is a chiropractor, but he specializes in the spine, he was sharing some pretty eye-watering things about the human body that I didn't even know, and how our Swish product aids the body in healing itself, or helping itself overcome the negative things that cells are doing in our bodies. It overcomes that so that the cells have the best fighting chance they can to keep your body in super great health. So all this is it's coming, right? You know, COVID slowed everything down in the world because everybody's focus was on COVID. But as we get COVID under control, I'm telling you, the interest into CBD is going to be phenomenal again. And that's one of the reasons why, hey, even if you didn't get into CBD last year, you got a whole year pause almost, and that you're still getting in at the ground floor by getting started with it now. So who do you know that actually gets what it's like to have a crystal ball? Who do you know that is very successful at being able to see into the future? Because that's what we got going on here, all right? And if you know somebody like that, I would love to talk to them. If you know somebody that's looking to make a lot of money or has money and they want to invest into something that's very positive, that has a very good positive outlook, I would love to talk to them. Even if it's not for you, please share their information with me, and I'll be happy to reach out and have a conversation with them. Because this industry of CBD right now is just over $1 billion. It's going to 10, 20 in the next couple of years, and then on to 50 and $100 billion. It's going to get to the point like where everybody's using it. And here's an example. When we first got into this industry of network marketing some 20 years ago, we got into it through a product, and it was a highly powerful antioxidant. Now, everybody, if I say that word in a public arena, people know what I'm talking about when I say antioxidant, because we all know now that how important it is for the body to be detoxifying itself, right? To get out those bad stuff and help those cells rejuvenate and be healthy. So we all know what an antioxidant is. But I'll tell you what, 20 years ago, you didn't. Because 20 years ago, when we first found out about this product, and we were starting to have positive results, and we're seeing all these other people have positive results, I literally took this product to our flight surgeon, the F-16 doctor, if you will, on base, and I shared it with him and a couple other doctors, and they all laughed at me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean antioxidants? What the heck is an antioxidant? You don't know what you're just wasting your money with that stuff. 20 years ago, just 2 decades. That was the response we got. And of course, about 5 years after that, boom, the antioxidant rage went on. And people were just turning on to antioxidants and understanding the value and importance of it. Another one was the keto diet, right? You've heard of the keto diet, I'm sure now. 7 years ago or 6 years ago, when we were the very first company, before Prove It, which is a very popular company out there that sells ketones, We were the very first company to come out with this ketone product. And you cannot imagine what it was like trying to educate people. Hey, you want to eat high fats, low sugars, no carbs diet. And they're like, you're out of your freaking mind. And now keto is like a household name. I mean, a lot of our friends are doing keto. You go into the supermarket, you see stuff about keto, 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 keto. It's all over the place. 5, 6, 7 years ago, nobody knew what a keto diet was, right? Or very few. And this is what I'm telling you is about to happen with CBD. Some people have heard of it. Some people have seen the big block letters. But what I am telling you, the crystal ball, I see very clearly that this is the time to get into this industry. And I'll tell you what, if you decided to get started with us, you can get started with as little as $100. And that's a complete sampling of all our products. And that runs out at the end of this month. I think it's Sunday night, the 28th, whenever that is, on the 28th of February, that special is going to run out. It's still good to get investment to get started with us at any time. But right now we got that special going, so it's a super great time to be able to get started. The ground floor of this whole industry and where we're going, you get a complete sampling of our products. And the beauty is what we are doing with CBD, nobody else on the planet is doing. In other words, the biggest challenge right now for people that take CBD, it tastes nasty, and they're only getting about 10% absorption. What we're doing is you're getting no taste and 99% absorption. With the other oils, it's got to go through the digestive system and be broken down. That's the reason why you're only getting 10% absorption. With us, it's going directly into your bloodstream. You're getting 99% absorption. And we surmise that in a teaspoon, there's enough CBD and CBG to get every single one of your cells in your body. So your body is actually getting the nutrition. And it's 90 vitamins, minerals, nootropics, electrolytes, adaptogens, primary adaptogens, and other key ingredients. So it's a complete nutritional. My wife and I saved $150 every single month. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I got myself into that 17, 18 minutes that I've been kind of shooting for. I just want you to think about that. If you had a crystal ball, what would you do? If you ever wished to have moved on something and you didn't and regretted it, and then if you've been successful in something, what was different and allowed you to be successful at that time? And then who do you know that does get it? All right? Because if you know somebody that is successful in business, I would love to talk to them. And then finally, I just want to encourage you to take a look at what we're doing. If you have any questions about it at all, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions and help you move along. So to all those that chimed into this, again, let me know if you watched it live or replay. Answer some of those questions for me in the thread. I'll be happy to respond. If you have a private question, just feel free to message me. Wishing you all a wonderful night. Good night. Bye-bye. And it won't end. What is going on here? End live video. There it is. Okay. Bye-bye.